EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Handoff comes to Chubb. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 60 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now a 7-0 game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14. Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Throwing, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, to Landry there. Well, across the NFL, all the byes are done, so the 32 teams have played exactly 12 games. And if you look at the offensive leaders right now, Charles, starting with passing, Ben Roethlisberger at the top, but Patrick Mahomes is right on his heels.
Just 22 yards behind, and he's the guy that everyone is focused in on. He's fun to watch. How about the rest of the top 5? Matt Ryan.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. A second down throw for Prescott.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On third down, it's Prescott. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott, and this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Cleveland's offense coming back onto the field. Last week, Cleveland losing to Houston. Not a good game for Baker Mayfield. 3 first-half interceptions, and how about this nugget? He hadn't had 3 interceptions in a game, Charles, since his freshman year at Texas Tech.
How about that? Isn't it fitting, though? First year at Texas Tech, right? He throws the 3 interceptions in a ball game. He plays a team from Texas and throws 3 more interceptions. But, look, it's tough to move the ball against the Houston Texans, maybe the hottest team in the NFL right now. part of being a rookie quarterback, part of the education. You will have your ups and your downs. But one thing we know about Baker Mayfield, he will never lose confidence.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And some space here. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Browns score. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys, they're 7-5 now and really playing energized football these last few weeks. How much of this has to do with Amari Cooper? I mean, you look at the win against New Orleans, they just looked dominant.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? And you go back to Thanksgiving night against Washington, Amari Cooper was dominant himself. He is a part of it and a good part of it, but to me it's still Ezekiel Elliott really being activated as a ball carrier, and that allows Dak Prescott to throw off the play action and be much more effective.
And now it's 7-5, leading their division. You mentioned the win over Washington. It's a 4-game win streak after the victory against the Saints. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Second down, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Prescott to throw it. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head. The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mayfield now. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Used to have a coach who tells us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Cousins on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing is Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. He's got his man. That's Landry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Vikings getting the football back here. Last week, a loss to New England, 24-10 for Minnesota. Kirk Cousins had defeated Aaron Rodgers the week prior, and then he was trying to do the same thing to Tom Brady, but he could not do it.
That's hard to do in Foxborough, isn't it? Really difficult to beat Tom Brady anywhere. But the Vikings now have to turn the page and look ahead. They're still battling for one of the wild card spots, still within a game and a half of the Bears in the NFC North. They will play the last week of the season, Week 17, in Minnesota against Chicago. That game could mean something, but more importantly, this week coming up for the Vikings at Seattle. They need that one desperately.
Trying to stay above 500 right now, 6-5-1. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Second down, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And the Browns getting set to go. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Second down, Mayfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
On third down, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Cousins now to throw on first down. Room to run past midfield. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 63 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now a second down throw from Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now Mayfield. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Sherrill. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbooks. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They go play action here on first down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 34 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. For those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, second and 10. On second down, Mayfield again. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mayfield from the gun on third down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Sherrills to return it. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah, 39 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Quick look ahead to Week 14 and what's on tap. A couple of good games, at least historically. Pittsburgh and Oakland and Philly and Dallas.
And all of a sudden, I'm 8 years old again. Because Pittsburgh and Oakland, when I hear those names, I'm thinking who's going to win and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. That's what it felt like when I was growing up. How about the one that's got flexed in? The Rams and Bears playing in Soldier Field on Sunday night.
Yeah, that'll be good. And then Vikings-Seahawks on Monday night. So two great ones to finish off the weekend.
Yeah, these teams are fighting for wild card spots and, of course, maybe even a division title or two.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Daniil Hunter getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Third and long for Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. On that incompletion, since we're hitting the home stretch of the regular season here, wanted to talk about some of the sack leaders on the defensive side of the football. Not too many surprises, really, if you look at the top 7 or so. Aaron Donald, he's number 1 right now, 16 and a half sacks.
That just tells you the greatness of Aaron Donald, that it's not a surprise to us that he leads in sacks. Yet he's mainly a defensive tackle. Usually those guys are not on the top of the leaderboard. It's usually defensive ends and outside linebackers. Some of the other names in there, of course, Von Miller. He's 2nd, and Chandler Jones right behind him. J.J. Watt, Jason Pierre-Paul, Myles Garrett, and Daniil Hunter also chasing that number.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Gun! Rhino, Rhino! Hey, flipper! It's a hot!
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
We're going, let's go!
3rd and long for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded inside the 5. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield Success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They run it again with Chubb. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Again, this is Chubb. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ben Gideon in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. The Browns on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to go down again. Emerson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Dancing to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Let's go.
A toss to Cook. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's caught. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They run again on first down, Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Still going. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go. Oh, yeah!
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Throwing here, Cousins going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal